How can you create a quiz question that is simple, clear, and yet informative? Welcome back to TackOn TV. Unlike our other videos, we won't delve into interesting facts in this video. Instead, I'll tell you how to frame a question on such interesting facts. You may wonder, why are we creating this video? Let me explain. Following nearly every event we host, we get a flood of inquiries from the audience and the organizers about the creators of the content and the process that goes behind crafting such engaging questions. Some even inquire about the possibility of joining our content team. However, upon joining, they often discover the challenge of generating simple questions. It's not a rocket science, nor is it a closely guarded trade secret. Here are the 7 tips I share with our team. Let me break them down for you in points. Firstly, it's essential to understand precisely what a quiz is. It is certainly not an exam. We are not testing the participants' memory skills. A quiz should nudge the individuals to think, arrive at the answer, and at the same time impart new knowledge. Once you understand this, you are halfway through. That means the questions and answers should be guessable and relatable. The next step in making a question is to look for the answer. Yes, look for the answers around you. People tend to search on internet for trivia by googling something like interesting facts about India, interesting facts about cinema or elections or whatever. That way you'll end up spending a lot of time on each question. Hence the best way is to look around you. It could be things, it could be something on the newspaper, it could be something on the TV or books, or it could be something on kitchen or even the road. You can just go out and look for the answers if you're not finding them in your place. For example, I'm just checking time on my watch. Now I have at least 3 to 4 answers in my mind. I can make a question on Apple, I can make a question on LED screen, I can make a question on Mickey Mouse or Walt Disney because that's my watch screen. And I can make a question on the time itself. I have chosen to focus on the topic of time. Now that I have the answer, it's time to search for the question. Now, how do you search for the question? I'm sure this is not the first time you're going to read about it. You must have read about it in newspapers, in your school books, or something on the internet too. This reminds me of something I read in school days and something we often come across. That is Greenwich Mean Time. Now I go onto the internet, search about Greenwich Mean Time and come up with some question. Let me show you how a raw and lazy question framing looks like. If you have ever attended quizzes hosted by quiz clubs of India, you might have come across such long questions. You can pause the video and read the question. It says about X, Y, something in 16th century, some conference in 19th century and more. But do we need all this unnecessary stuff and complicate the question? Let me tell you, all these variables and too much text might interest a few people, but they are a turn off to most. This is where the point number 4 comes in. We are not making algebra questions, so don't use variables like A, B, C and X, Y, Z. When I say this, some people might come up with something like this. Okay, this version is a bit shorter but not perfect, and replacing the variables with blanks is not solving anything. It only further kills the attention of the audience. You have to further shorten it, and a tip to do that is in the point number 5. Always try to start a question with W or H, or if that's not possible, try to have it in the first few words. Did you understand it? By W or H, I mean try to start a question with words like who, when, why, what, where or how. Let me show you how this trick further shortens the question. What passes through the observatory commissioned by King Charles II in 1675 in England at the site chosen by a former professor in astronomy to aid sailors by standardizing longitudes and now serving as a center for calculating an international standard. So here the question is further shortened to a single sentence with all the information that was available in the earlier version of the question. But is this a perfect fit to impress the audience? I will say no. And if you're wondering if this question can be shortened further, I'd say yes. That brings us to point number 6. And it is possible by using a visual. That could be an image, that could be a video or even an audio if it fits. A single visual can replace lines of text and make the question as interesting as possible. Here is my version of simplest possible question with an image. What passes through an observatory at a prime location in England, which was initially commissioned to standardize the art of navigation in 17th century? That's the question in its best and the simplest form. You have every information needed to arrive at the answer in the question's text and the image. In the image, you can see a digital clock, you can see something written above it, and you can see a sharp green laser light coming out of the observatory. If you wish to give more information about this, you can do it while hosting or sometimes while revealing the answer. Another tip I'd like to give here: never copy a text from an article and make a question out of it. Read an article or read multiple articles, understand the topic, and frame a question in your own words. That gives you the best question possible. But wait, that's not it. We have one last but the most important step in making an enjoyable question. That is the look of it. Yes, the aesthetics matter. It's just like how no one would buy a badly designed iPhone with all the same features. At TackOn, we give equal importance to the aesthetics as much as we give to the good content. The good content, beautiful aesthetics, and a good quizmaster makes a perfect quiz. So that's how we make the enjoyable content through which you can always learn and have fun while cracking the questions. Subscribe to TackOn TV, and until next time, stay curious.